Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and in this video we are going to make not one but two pair of simple earrings using the Chocolate Kiss Design Challenge Kit from SoftFlex beading wire. So let's turn down and we'll start on these. The first ones we're going to work on are the ones using the little red flower bead caps. Well, they're not bead caps, they're just lucite flowers. But what we're going to do with these is we're going to take our bead cap. I've got a couple of what I call conforming bead caps, where we're going to use our flower. And we're going to drop that down on there and just squish it into place. So it's going to sit like so. Now, a lot of times when I make a piece like this, I use green, but I'm just going to put a little yellow, the same yellow we're going to use for the stamens at the top. So what we're going to want to do, I've got two pieces, well, these were head pins, 3-inch head pins that I cut the top off of. And I'm going to make these have a big simple loop at the bottom. They're going to go inside the flower. And then with these little guys here, I am going to build the stamens. Now, the stamens are, of course, the little pieces of the flower that stick out so that they can be pollinated. So I'm putting those on to I'm going to use little yellow bicones for those. And one of each of these will have one yellow bicone. And each flower is going to have 3. Looks like I may have an extra little ball head pin out, and that's fine. In fact, I'll probably trade one of these straighter ones for one of these that are a little bit more bent. Though maybe not, because one of these has got to be really short. Well, not really short, but they're going to be shorter. Now, what's still in here is a red bead, another bicone, and a spacer, as well as the ear wires for each of these. Those will go on the top after we get our stamens built and get them our little pieces fitting into here. So what we do with these is we're going to take them and we're going to make them 3 different lengths. So we just choose a length. That's probably the longest I want. Okay, this is going to be my longest one, and then we're going to make 2 shorter ones. And you can choose your length. Remember, though, it's going to be going inside the flower cap, but at the same time, it's also going to be hanging from our from a simple loop inside there. So now we're going to wind these up just like we normally would. We're going to get our stepped bell making pliers. They have the smallest one here. And we want to use the small loop. We're just going to make regular little wrapped loops up here at the top of each one of these. Boy, I'm just bending things right and left today. And it doesn't matter if these are the same length as our other ones because, well, they're flowers. Flowers aren't supposed to be perfect. They're very pretty, but they're not supposed to be perfect. So, drop down. Okay, now that we've got the little rounds made, we're going to wrap them up. So we wrap those up just like normal. Take hold of where they come together with your pliers and just wrap them. You only want like 2 or 3 wraps on these, so cut off any extra because we don't want too much hanging out of the bottom of our flower. So let's cut these off. Come on, stop wiggling. And tuck it. You could just make these to be simple loops too if you wanted them to be because, well, you know, like I said, they're going to be inside. And this one doesn't want to wrap easily, so we'll get the other pair of pliers out. Tuck. Here we go. And I see I've got it out of place a bit, so we're going to slide this wire up and tighten her up because she's really loose here. Okay, the next step is we're going to make these simple loops for these to sit in. Now, we're again going to use a stepped bell making plier, but instead of the smallest, we're going to use the next to the smallest, and we're just making a simple loop this time around. You could make a I suppose if you wanted to, I find it's better to just use a simple loop because you can open it up to feed the stamen wires on, as opposed to having to wire them right on to the, which you would if you don't use just a simple loop. So there's our 2 pieces there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to open this up and feed each one of them with the 3 stamen pieces. And no, it doesn't matter which direction you put them on. So I do like to have the biggest in the middle. That way it hangs down a little further and it looks more so when these are done, we're going to slide it up into the middle here, like so that it sits like this. And then we're going to put the red bead on, the spacer, and then the crystal. Then we'll fold this over because then it's time for the ear wire. So there's the one. Now we'll open up the other one and put on its little stamen pieces. And close her back up. And into the flower. Red. Spacer. And the yellow. So here's what they're going to look like. So now it's time to put our ear wires on. So again, we're going to go get our stepped bell making pliers. I used the smallest one for putting ear wires on. And up and around and down. And we're going to leave a gap so that we can put our ear wire on easily. Feed our ear wire down this wire and up and around. Then we're going to grab our loop and our other pliers, and we're going to wrap this baby up. Let's see if we got as many loops as I want to there. If we're going to have a lot of gap room here. Nope, that's about perfect. So then we're going to cut our excess off. We do want to be careful with this top one because it is a crystal. Okay. And then we're going to straighten everything up. This is a little crooked. It's bending to the side a little bit. And that isn't tucked very well there. So I can see it right there. So let's get our crystal out of the way as much as possible. And try to tuck that a little better. Keeps trying to leave on me, so I have to get hold of it here and try with the second pair of pliers for that tuck. That's better. So there's our first earring. Now we just got to put the ear wire on this one and it'll be done too. So into here. Up and around, drop it, bring it over, leaving a slight gap, and straighten up our loop. There we go. Feed on our ear wire. Hold our wires where they come together. Switch hands, and then wrap this one. Yep, it'll wrap one more time. I think this needs to be trimmed back over here so that it doesn't break that crystal when it comes together. And tuck that in. And now our second earring is done. Well, this one's a little crooked here, so we need to straighten our head up. And there's number 2. There is our little flower earrings. Hope you enjoyed making those with me. Now let's see about the second pair. For our flower pair, that's our first pair. Now we're going to turn down and work on the second pair. And this one is going to use these red glass hearts. So let's turn down and we'll start them. Okay, I've got out the pieces for the second pair of earrings. And what we need here is our red hearts. And then we have our ear wires, and we have, again, these were 3-inch head pins that I cut the very top off of. We've got our ear wires. We've got some spacers. And we've got a little red rondelle. So what we're going to do with, we have 2 pieces of chain. I've got them hooked together, but we'll need to take those apart, so I might as well do it right now. So there's one for each of these, like so. So now what we need to do to start this out is to take and put a bend in our piece of wire here. Then we're going to feed our heart down onto here and bend it again so it's facing up. So it makes a little square right there. Then we're going to give it another little bend really close right here. And again on this side, trying to get them at about the same spot. Now as you can see, they're starting to come together here. And where they're coming together, we're going to take and bend the longer one up, like so. And then this one will be bent downwards, like this. Now we'll hold these right here where these come together, and we'll bring them around for a couple of turns. We'll cut this off at the back and tuck it in. So now we have our little heart, and this one, as you can see, this bend has gone out of it somewhat, so we're going to try and rebend that so it's not so obviously off. There we go. This is crooked here, so we need to straighten that up. Okay. Then we'll put on these beads here. So 1 spacer, the rondelle, and the spacer. Now this baby needs to go onto the chain. Now, think I'm going to put the little diamond down for the furthest. And I'm actually going to need a little jump ring to hook the chain onto. We want to make sure that we're going in the right direction. So, because we're going to have the jump ring like this, so we'll sit like that, and then this is jump ring to here, and it is, we want to make sure we get it hooked in here properly. So these are going to go like this. So this will hang down with this here. Yeah, the little diamond's going sort of sideways. In fact, because the diamond's going sideways, and we really don't want it to, I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put them in jump rings, little jump rings. So we're just going to wind this baby up. We want our circle to go about the same way though, so we're going to move this over here and we'll do this here. Now if you get this the wrong way, you can always twist it up, twist it a little bit to get it into the proper way you want it, but I try to get them all done at once so I don't have to do that. Get this in here. We'll wind this baby up. I believe I have my head a little crooked up there at the top, which we will straighten up later. Just tuck this in. See if we've got it tucked. No, it's out of ways still. There we go. But we're also very crooked, see? So we got to straighten that up. And I think we're going to want this way, so we need to twist this just a little bit. Then I need to get my little jump rings to put this baby together. So we'll be right back when I get those. 4 teensy tiny jump rings out, 2 for each earring. And we will start putting this earring together. So we have to find which side has the opening, which is right here. And then I'm going to put the chain on first, because there are times when you're using these tiny ones that the bigger thing does not want to go on. First, because if you put it on first, it takes up a lot of the space in your tiny jump ring, and then it can't get through. Its buddy can't get on. So there's that. Now we'll get this other jump ring. Open it up from side to side. Go onto here. And then onto our ear wire. Making sure that we put it on so that the front is facing the proper direction. Now I've said that so many times, and then I look at it and I've got it backwards, but it looks like we got it right this time. But this is still crooked in here for some reason. think it might be right here. That looks better. And remember what I just said about having it backwards? No, I've got it right. Where's my flower? There we go. And there is our first earring. Now we have to build the second one. So again, we want to just bend our wire, feed on our heart, bend it again, doesn't want to bend this time, but I will make it. Come on, stay on there. You have to bend right there. Now we need a bend going this direction and one going this direction. That looks pretty good. Now this one has to come up, and this one has to go down, like so. Now we grab right here, and we're going to wrap that twice. One. Oh, come on, you. Two. Straighten these up a little bit. Yep, just two I have on there. So we'll cut this off now and tuck it in. Now we're crooked, which is not uncommon. So now we need to straighten ourselves up here. Still crooked. Okay, that looks better. Now we feed on our spacer, our little red rondelle, and our other spacer. Then we want to make our loop up here at the top. Round, drop it, bring it over, straighten her out. Now we'll wrap this baby. Come on, wire. There we go. And tuck it. Now we're going to have to straighten this because, as you can see, it's pretty crooked. That looks pretty good. This bottom piece is still crooked. That's better. Now we hook it on to our little piece of chain and our ear wire, and she'll be done. And we got her going the right way. So that is our second earring finished. And now we have both our pair of little red earrings from our Chocolate Kiss design challenge kit from SoftFlex. There we go, 2 pair of earrings using our SoftFlex design kit, Chocolate Kiss. Here's the first one, little flowers. And the second one are the dropped hearts. Uh-oh, I have this one on backwards. This one seems to be good, but this one is on... No, it's all right. Why was it twisted wrong? Something screwy here. It almost looks like it wants to sit sideways, which is very strange. The other one is sitting fine. Yeah. Well, I shall have to inspect it more and figure it out. If I can figure it out, we'll fix it. It seems to be, actually seems to be a problem up in here somewhere. I may have to bend something. We'll find out, because it keeps going sideways. And it's exactly the same way as the other one. So, there we go. There is our red hearts. I think those are pretty too. Like I say, we've got something going fishy, but I will figure it out. And then we will get it fixed. I think I have figured out that the problem is that our links, when we've got this one going this way, it changes our link to be, the triangle to be sideways. And I didn't want it to be sideways. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and put another little tiny link at the top so that it will turn around. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the one up here at the top. Take out this one, close this baby up, then we're going to put in another jump ring so that it turns the triangles around. Then we'll put it through this original jump ring, and we'll put our ear wire back on, and shut this one up. And now I think it's hanging the way I want it. Now let's do the same over here to this other earring. Oops, I put my ear wire on backwards. So we'll have to fix that. Okie dokie. It's much better, though this one seems to still want to slide sideways a little bit, which means we're going to have to do a little trick here. What are you doing? Going sideways or crooked? I think part of my problem might be this link between my chain. It looks like it's been bent in some way, so we are going to see if we can't straighten that out. That's better. That's much better. There we go. I do believe we have it fixed. So there we go. All repaired. Hey, there we go. I didn't know when we started these videos that I was going to be doing an impromptu repair job on the way they were hanging, but it's the way it is. So anyway, there's our 2 pair of earrings. Here's our flowers. And here is our pretty red hearts. See how much better they hang now? I'm much more pleased with them. So these are a long earring, so if you don't like a long earring, these wouldn't be for you. In order to make it shorter, you could do a couple of things. One would be to take out one of these pieces of chain pieces, which would shorten it up considerably, see? Or you could not put in the little red things here and just hook right directly to the chain. That would take off some. But I like them with the chain, so I would probably, if I wanted them shorter, would probably take out one link here of the chain to make them shorter here. See, they would be much shorter without one link. But I like the chain, so I'm going to leave it in there. So this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden. We've been working with the Chocolate Kiss SoftFlex design kit. And there's our 2 pair of earrings. Hope you enjoyed making those with me. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.